Over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin was just recently withdrawn from a single exchange. Is this a good sign, a bad sign? Is it a distraction? We're going to go over each of those inside of this video. We have an article published from Cointelegraph. I will have a link to this down in the description below. I'll share my thoughts at the end. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is my own opinion. It's my own research. I highly encourage you to go do your own research. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive on into the news. Titled, a record 55,000 Bitcoin or over $1.1 billion was just withdrawn from Binance. Some serious withdrawals are occurring on the world's biggest crypto exchange by volume. Bitcoin has seen record buying activity as Bitcoin USD returns to 6-week highs. The latest data from on-chain analytics firm CryptoQuant shows more Bitcoin leaving major exchange Binance in a single day than ever before. Binance finishes the day 55,000 Bitcoin lighter. Despite warnings that a macro bottom may not yet have occurred, Bitcoin investors have wasted no time snapping up Bitcoin above $20,000. The past 2 days' gains delivered a sea change to exchange user behavior, with Bitcoin balances dropping across the board. As the largest exchange by volume, Binance was of particular interest and saw a net position change of over 55,000 Bitcoin on October 26th, the most ever. The outflows beat all other buying sprees, including the $17,600 dip in June this year and the March 2020 crash. CryptoQuant contributor Dang further noted that derivatives platform outflows were setting multi-month records. In 1 year from now, yesterday was the day with the biggest number of coins moved out of the derivatives exchange, 71,579 Bitcoin, he wrote in one of the firm's quick take posts, noting that internal moves could have made up some of the total. That number contributes to bringing the outflow of Bitcoin from derivatives exchanges to 94,024 Bitcoin. This is the most significant number since July. This amount has helped drastically reduce the total reserves on derivatives exchanges after spiking since Bitcoin's price dropped in May. Dang added that such derivatives outflows had once accompanied decreased sell-side pressure on Bitcoin more broadly. While there is still a lack of on-chain confirmation of Bitcoin bottoming, looking back at the history of late 2018, we will see the difference, he concluded. In the strongest price declines in the 2 years before 2020 and 2021, each appearance of a strong downtrend on derivative reserves showed a similar decrease in selling pressure. How about this time? Gains have not changed. Bitcoin bear market. Turning to exchanges stock of Bitcoin from October 25th through October 26th, the major platforms tracked by CryptoQuant saw around 42,500 Bitcoin in net outflows. Unlike with Binance, cross-platform position change did not set a global record, with June remaining higher. Summing up, fellow CryptoQuant contributor IT Tech warned that the good times may not last long. The United States Federal Reserve meeting on interest rates could deliver an unwelcome pivot. For me, it could mean that is some kind of fake pump before FOMC meetings on November 2nd. He wrote in a further quick take, DXY is going down and helped S&P 500 and Bitcoin grow up. Be careful because we are still in bear market and one small pump not change this. Okay, so what's my hot take on this? Thing is that if you have a lot of cryptocurrency on a centralized exchange, for example, Binance, it's very easy to go ahead and hit the sell button. If you've got it set off aside on, let's say, a ledger or an Elipal, a hard wallet, if you have it as a paper wallet, whatever, you don't have it on a centralized exchange, then it becomes a bit more difficult. You got to go through some extra steps. Some people will swap that over, but if you're wanting it to be converted to actual fiat, then that's where the centralized exchange comes into play. If you're wanting it to be to a stable coin, for example, BUSD, because we're talking about Binance here, the Binance pegged BUSD is to that of the US dollar. We could see something like that take place, sure, But more often than not, what we're seeing take place here is people taking this off of the centralized exchanges. They want to have it be a little bit more safer or secure. And also it suggests that they're trying to influence the mentality from the investor standpoint of people saying, oh, maybe we don't have a lot of selling pressure that's about to come out. People are wanting to be a little bit more reserved on this. So I'm okay to go ahead and go buy Bitcoin now. This could be a fake out though. Just as easily as large amounts of Bitcoin are coming off of the centralized exchanges, it is important to note that very easily it could go back the same day. It could go back right after they just decided to take it out. It could be a completely manipulated marketing tactic. We don't know what the full intentions are behind everyone that's pulling these out. More often than not, though, what's being suggested is that they have more confidence in the market and that they're looking to try and create more confidence in the overall perspective from everyone else. So like I was saying, taking it off of the centralized exchange means that it's not readily available to sell. As is noted in this article, yes, there is the Federal Reserve meeting that's coming up on November 2nd. That does have a chance that we could potentially see interest rates being increased. I believe I just saw something a little bit ago over in Europe that they had raised theirs a little bit. There's speculation we could be seeing the Federal Reserve announcing that they're raising interest by another 0.5 to 0.75 points, which would be quite a bit. Now, what is against that? That's good news. The good news is that we got the GDP report today, and that's actually quite bullish. It's better than what people had expected. It was 2.6% increase, if I remember correctly. And so looking at those kinds of numbers, that would suggest that we're pulling away from the idea of a recession here in the United States. Yes, if you look at certain stocks, you could see that there was not a good turnout response on them. For example, with Meta, aka Facebook, they dropped about 25% on the day. But at the same time, you got to look at what kind of a direction were they trying to push their company business model, them trying to go much more into the metaverse, not really proving that it's what people are wanting, and their performance results from a financial standpoint, they underperformed. But conversely, if you look over, for example, at Apple's doing a bit okay. In fact, let me go ahead and double check as of the time I'm making the video here. And looking at it in the after hours, Apple's actually up. They're up 1.41%. They did close out in the day down 3.05%. That's just one example there for you guys. Amazon not doing good after hours. It's down 12.3%. Meta is slightly up in the after hours. It's 0.57% at the moment, but it dropped 24.56% on the day. So yeah, I'm referencing a couple of different stocks there for you guys. But overall, we're seeing mixtures across the board from a stock performance standpoint. Seems like they're handling themselves pretty well. Just crazy news what happened with that of Meta and seeing that in Amazon themselves. But yeah, guys, so we got to see what happens with the Federal Reserve. They've been raising the interest rates quite a bit. Maybe with this news, the GDP report, that will have an influence and make the adjustment on what they actually decide in the end for how many points that they raise. And curious to see how that will impact everything else. I've been a little bit skeptical about the raise of Bitcoin recently, passing above $20,000 again, pushing towards the 21,000. I'm like, well, we still haven't gotten that report yet for the Federal Reserve, so let's see. Now, speaking of stocks as well as cryptocurrency, I will have a referral link in the description for Webull. They have really nice bonuses of things you guys can check out. They have different promotions running from time to time. They've been getting pretty crazy with their promotions recently. I don't know if it's because of how the market conditions have been, or if it's because we're coming up closer to the end of the year, or if it's a combination of both. But if you're looking to be able to trade some different cryptos as well as get involved with stock stuff, and you want to get some nice freebie bonuses, you can check out what that promotion is in the description down below. Again, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please go do your own research. And that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. Double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeMoon.com, Rad Shaker, Victor Vegas, and SafeMoon Oz for being higher level patrons. Also, thank you to my YouTube members for your support. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, like button. God bless, and we will see you in the next episode.